And Brooklyn was changing, not for the better. They had a thing called busing. They used to bus kids from the bad neighborhoods and bring them into the good neighborhoods and fill up the schools. And it got pretty bad. I mean, it got so bad, we had like race riots all the time. It got to a point where they would make it part of the daily ritual on the loudspeaker. They'd be like, today's lunch is macaroni and cheese, and this Thursday we're having a race riot. So pick up your bats, knives, and guns at the front office. It was bad. And people were leaving. People were leaving Brooklyn. They were moving to places like Staten Island and Jersey, and a place called Long Island. Now, my Brooklyn friends didn't like Long Island. They just did, there was a stigma against Long Island. And mainly because every time somebody moved to Long Island, you never heard from them again. You know what it was like? It was like, remember that movie, March of the Wooden Soldiers? They were like banished to Bogeyland. It was true. I'd be like, hey, what happened to the Cadagno family? They'd be, who? You know, the Cadagnos, Joey Cadagno. Who? I learned later they moved to a place called Matza Pizza. Which I thought sounded delicious. Well, the only thing I knew about Long Island was my Uncle Tony. I had an Uncle Tony who lived in Brentwood, now known as Brownwood. And, oh, it's true. And, you know, we used to drive out there, and you know what? It was beautiful. I remember driving out to Long Island. There was like trees and birds singing and beautiful lawns. And my Uncle Tony had a patio, and we would go down the patio, and he had like 4,000 acres in the backyard. Everything's bigger when you're a kid, right? And he'd have a pool, and he had a barbecue that he built out of brick in the ground. It was like sitting there, barbecue, and we would roast marshmallows on a stick. Not like home in Brooklyn. We roasted marshmallows on the gas stove with a fork. It was like, we'd be like, oh, oh. I'm surprised we didn't kill ourselves. You know? And then I had a cousin, Marilyn. I was about 13. My cousin Marilyn was about 16. And she used to bring all our friends over. And they were all like beautiful blonde-haired, glowing girls with milky skin. And we would play Frisbee and two-hand touch football. Emphasis on the touch. That's true. And oh, the other thing my Uncle Tony had, he had a pigeon coop. He had a pigeon coop with pigeons, right? And he would let the pigeons fly, and they would fly in the air in a circle and all come back down to the pigeon coop on their own. I never seen anything like this. And they would coo. They would coo this wonderful pigeon song. It was like, coo, coo. We had pigeons in Brooklyn. They didn't coo. They would curse at you under your breath as they walked away. And the only time I saw a pigeon fly in Brooklyn was to avoid getting hit by a bus. I didn't understand what my friends were talking about. To me, Long Island was like a paradise. It was heaven. I thought, this must be what